In this video, we are going to talk about motorcycle riding in the rain. So before starting this video, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for the future updates. Does the thought of riding in the wet make your mouth go dry? Riding your motorcycle in the rain can be safe, and dare we say it, even fun, as long as you're prepared with the right skill set and gear. What exactly should you expect when riding in the rain, and what adjustments should you make as you ride? Choose the right gear. Good waterproof apparel, like a rain suit, two-piece or one, gloves, boots, and perhaps an electric heated vest, can keep you warm and dry in even the most persistent storm, which is the first key to enjoying a day spent in the rain. High vis isn't the most stylish, but in conditions of reduced visibility, it increases the chance that other drivers will see you, something to keep in mind as you shop for gear. Waterproof gear tends to add warmth on its own, but if rain is in the forecast, consider bringing multiple thinner layers that you can add if you get chilly. Another oft-overlooked piece of the gear puzzle is the helmet, which should be equipped with an anti-fog visor, a breath guard, or even a visor with electric defrost function. And either leave the tinted shield at home or bring along a clear spare. The last thing you need is a darkened view of a wet road. Keep your visor down and closed at all times if possible. Once rain or moisture gets inside, it will be very difficult to defog. Whatever combination of gear you end up with, make sure that it doesn't intrude on your riding or distract you in any way. For example, you can't work the controls with frozen fingers, but an extra warm pair of gloves may be too bulky and not much better. Similarly, a neck warmer may be nice and toasty, but limit you from turning your head enough for a shoulder check. You may have to search to find the right gear, but you should be able to find a nice balance between comfort and practicality for the conditions you intend to ride in. Ride smoother and smarter. There is one word to remember when riding in the rain: smooth. When it's wet outside, everything you do on your motorcycle should be smooth, from throttle adjustments to braking to cornering. There's a reason today's motorcycles often include a rain mode that cuts power, and perhaps even smooths out the throttle mapping, and increases anti-lock braking system and traction control intervention. Even with modern rider aids, roll on and off the throttle gently, and use your lean angle sparingly. Keeping your bike as upright as possible will reduce the chances of it sliding out from underneath you if you hit a slick spot. Increase your following distance and use your engine to help decelerate. Braking smoothly, there's that word again, instead of stabbing at the lever. Be wary of intersections. Intersections are dangerous enough when you're on a motorcycle, and unfortunately, the rain makes things worse. They're a collection of hazards. Slippery oil spots where cars stop and idle, painted lines that can become like ice when wet, and of course, plenty of drivers who might not be paying as much attention as you. Roundabouts are especially tricky and can be slippery not just at the entrances and exits, but also throughout the circle. Approach slowly to avoid having to brake suddenly, stay smooth, and limit your lean, and you'll come out the other side right side up. Watch out for surprises. When it's wet out, situations that are nearly harmless in the dry can turn into unpleasant surprises. Keep an eye out for manhole covers, sealer pavement, painted lines, and fallen leaves, all of which are like black ice when they're wet. If and when you do encounter any of these traction inhibitors, check first if there is a line that you could easily take around them. If not, resist braking or accelerating hard, and roll over them without making any aggressive inputs. Note that in case you do have to change your line or turn over a greasy section, it's important to keep your hands relaxed on the handlebars and don't lean the bike any more than necessary. Standing water is another potential hazard and is especially dangerous on the freeway where speeds may prevent you from slowing in time to avoid hydroplaning. Water will of course pool at low points, which on freeways is often the leftmost lane where the concrete barrier prevents it from draining. Avoid using that lane and watch cars ahead of you for signs of water spray, so you can spot problem areas in advance. Find a dry line. Although this may seem obvious, it is amazing how many people we see riding in an area of the lane that is wet even though an adjacent area is dry. Dry pavement offers superior traction and maneuverability, so make sure you continually place yourself in the driest section of the lane. Over time, and as you practice these riding tips, you will find that rain riding, and even touring, can actually be satisfying. Not to mention make you a better and more confident rider. Sure, each ride will vary, with city riding in stormy weather almost always being the most nerve-wracking. But just because the clouds roll in doesn't mean you can't ride almost every day. Before you leave on your ride, protect yourself from the elements with proper riding gear and attire. Note that there are two different types of water prevention clothing: waterproof and water-resistant. Waterproof clothing gear will not allow water penetration unless under more extreme circumstances, like being submerged in water. Water-resistant gear will shed water from the surface, but tend to allow water penetration after a certain period of time when hit with water continuously. When looking for new riding gear for more adverse riding conditions, take note of the type of water prevention the gear is supposed to have. Water-resistant waterproof clothing, including jackets, pants, and one-piece suits, is a must when riding in the rain. For riding gear to have good water protection, the key is overlapping seams that don't align. Zippers should have a flap or two that covers the zipper completely, and the edge of the flap shouldn't align directly with the zipper. Cuffs on the jacket should be long enough to cover your riding gloves, and have a cinching mechanism like a hook and loop section that can be tightened around the glove's cuff. Wet clothes and skin will become cold and will reduce your reaction time to events around you. So it is essential to keep your focus by staying warm and dry. Also, remember that dyed leather gear tends to bleed the color when wet, so your gear may end up a lovely shade of blue if not adequately protected from water intrusion. Beware of wet riding conditions. Wet roads can create dangerous situations for any motorcycle rider. Though it can appear perfectly clean, oftentimes wet roads consist of oils and other slippery residuals on the surface. Be wary and alert of the hazards that heavy rainfall can have on the road in order for you to navigate to your destination safely. Rain unveils oils that create slippery, wet surfaces that reduce the traction on your tires. The first hour of a heavy rainstorm is the most dangerous time to ride, when the oils are raised to the surfaces of the road and have not yet been washed away. If it's possible to stop for a quick break, now is the time. Wait the storm out or until the rain has thoroughly washed the road surface clean of oils and anything else that has been left behind prior to getting back on your bike. Once the rain has eased up, ride behind the vehicle's tire tracks, as they have already propelled some of the water away and allow you to gain better traction. A heavy volume of water can also cause you to hydroplane, despite how good or new your tire tread is. Hydroplaning occurs when a layer of water prevents direct contact between the tires and the road. To reduce your chances of hydroplaning, try to avoid riding on painted lines, manhole covers, tar snakes, rainbow-hued puddles, and metal crossings, as they contribute to reduced tire grip. While riding, slow down as much as possible, squeeze your clutch, and coast through the puddle. At higher speed conditions, try to maintain your speed and avoid abrupt changes as it can reduce the traction of your motorcycle. Also, take into consideration the type of tires you have on your motorcycle. All-weather tires are designed to handle water, whereas summer sport tires may not be as resourceful. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comments section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.